Yeah, I just wanted to start by saying that, as we start to ease restrictions here in New South Wales and in the rest of Australia, I think we're all feeling a bit of anticipation, hoping that things will go well, um, looking forward to seeing each other again and some of the joys of life, like going out to eat or, spending time with friends, obviously, and family. But I think we're also, concerned that, we move too fast and infections rise again, and nobody wants that to happen. And I suppose, that keeps us in a place of wondering, how to manage ourselves through this change. And part of it has to raise the question for us about, um, what do we want to do differently on the other side of this? I certainly know, talking to people, some are very excited about moving out of restrictions. Some people are not so crazy about it. Some would rather stay kind of in a controlled state for a while longer and just make sure. But yeah, we're all in this together. And I just wanted to, I guess, raise the question around what is it we don't want to lose as an opportunity from this, to learn from it. I know there are certainly things that I don't want to go back to, like they were before, that I'd like to carry forward into the new, whatever that new looks like. Some of the things that I come to mind for me just often have to do with busyness and connectedness with others. So, yeah, those are, if you think about the kinds of things that you want to learn from this experience and these times, things that you don't want to let go of, that you want to take forward into life as we move out of these restrictions, yeah, just have a moment to think about what it is, and maybe actually add it into our chat feed there, so we can reflect on it later if we've got time to do that. But certainly, learning from these experiences is a really key component of helping to effectively manage change, I've found. Yeah, and the other, I guess, the other element of learning is also that if we don't carry forward what our experiences have shown us, then we repeat things again and again, or even that we feel out of control. So learning from it, for me personally, gives me a sense that I'm able to help influence the future changes that I have to encounter. So just have a think about what you don't want to let go of in the future from these experiences, to live differently, and put it into our chat feed. I'll also just comment quickly about, I suppose, Zoom fatigue. I know that we've all been doing a lot more of this kind of thing with each other, where we're meeting using screens, and some people are finding it, tiring. Really helpful to call that out, right? Because we, as a church, we want to do things in a way that keep it fresh and engage people. And I don't think, even on the other side of this, when we're all able to meet again together, that we want to just stop doing this either, because this is convenient, it saves time, it can be short and sharp if we do it well. So, some of these technologies that have been around and available to us, we've been forced to use them, and probably in the future we should continue to use them. But we're trying to adapt in a way to help, keep us from becoming, I suppose, too fatigued from these kinds of things. So let's talk just for a moment about learning a bit more. I know, as I said, preparing for this message, I've been prayerfully considering what it is that I feel Jesus has been showing me in the past 10, 15, 20 years as a change manager, and how his character has been influencing the way that I work with others, and even the kind of father I am, the kind of husband I am. And it's helped me to sort of take on board the things that he is to me as a person, and how I want to take the best of those things into my own life, as a personal reflection. So the first thing that comes to mind when I think about the kind of really important value in Jesus that has just meant so much to me, is that he's just really he has integrity in my relationship, I want to have integrity. He's very, very faithful, right? And I've found that over time, when I'm helping people go through hard things, if they feel that I'm trustworthy, if they feel that I have integrity, that I'm a faithful person, that if they come to me, I hold their, whatever they've shared in confidence, they can trust me to be consistent over time. They may not like the change, but at least having people come alongside them that they can trust and feel are faithful to them through the process. That's really, I've found that to be a really helpful quality of Jesus that I've continued to try to emulate. I've continued to try to reflect to others. Another quality that I feel like I don't always get really well is the way that Jesus is a non-anxious presence. And I certainly can think of lots of scriptures where he's been calm in the middle of chaos, and I'm sure you can too. But often during a change process, people's emotions can be high. They can be really threatened or upset. And, certainly this happens in families and in relationships too. And if I've found that if I remain calm, if I try not to be, just cold and a blank wall, but I stay not anxious during some of these anxious experiences, it helps other people, also calm themselves and to feel that it's not quite so overwhelming. So I'd say, in a sense, being a calm person is one of those things that you just have to keep practicing, because I don't feel calm inside often when I'm going through a difficult time, and I need other people to help me settle. Probably one of those ways is to talk it through and to pray with each other and to find silence in our relationship with Jesus and in prayer. But yeah, a non-anxious presence has been a really important quality to me in my work as a change manager, but also in my relationships as a husband and as a father. So a couple more things before I sort of round it all off, and then we can have some group discussion. Another quality of Jesus's relationship and the things that I find really valuable about him that have helped me, I think, try to be a better change manager is just how patient he is. I think there's something about the way that it doesn't matter what I bring to Jesus. He seems to meet me right where I am. He's got like this ability to sort of absorb almost everything. It just doesn't seem to, it doesn't bounce off him. It just seems to be like something that he's warm, he's bright. He can just take it on, and it doesn't feel to me like he's impatient with me. It doesn't feel that he's hurried. So maybe there's that relationship with how calm Jesus is, but how patient he is with me as well. And as I, work with, right now, 20 plus thousand people across the police force, and some of them love change. Some of them dislike change very much. They've got a whole set of circumstances that they're dealing with in the work that they do, that are quite difficult. And so often I will encounter someone who's appearing to be quite hostile or upset, and it feels like it's toward me. And I think Jesus has helped me to really be able to absorb that and not take it on board. And it's not to be that I treat it as it's trivial. I try to meet them right where they are. So I really appreciate the patience that Jesus has with me, and how that has helped me to learn to be patient with others and just to accept them where they are, and to not feel, irritated back when others are irritated. So that's been a really key quality. The final one that I'll talk about, I think, which kind of rounds off all of it, has to do with something that I think the only way I can describe it is that I feel like Jesus is much more interested in me as a person than he is necessarily at what I'm becoming or the outcome. So there's something about the way that he treats me through this process of change is clearly more important to him than what he could see me becoming or what the ideal might be or where I should be possibly. So I feel like Jesus, very, very trustworthy, extremely calm with me, very patient, and much more interested in me as a person than he is about the outcome, about where I could get to. And I guess, why I offer that is kind of the biggest picture aha as a change manager is that I found myself over the years in various organizations and on different kinds of change programs where I saw people not being treated well, and where I was asked to sort of front up or represent the organization or to be a champion for the change, and I saw people getting hurt. I saw, the process of getting people to the end was more important than the people themselves, and that was something that, over time I've found that I just don't have the tolerance for anymore. I can't. I don't feel that I have the integrity if I just let people get trampled by the process. So that's been sort of the biggest aha for me that I just wanted to share in Jesus's quality that I want to reflect. So I guess I'll finish up by saying that I really hope you don't hear me in any way saying that I've got all those things wired. It's a daily walk, and that we're all sharing with each other and with Jesus, and it's a personal relationship. And he wants to treat you as an individual. He treats all of us with great care, right where we are. And I suppose for me, to stand in front of you or in front of the screen here, in front of my family, in front of the people that I care about in this church and in my marriage and parenting, to say that those are the things that I stand for, because I feel like that's what Jesus has shown me, right? Is to be a faithful person, to be consistent, right? To try to not be anxious in the middle of hard times, in the middle of challenges, to try to remain someone who's calm and accepting others where they are, not so much worried about where things are coming at me and it might feel like I'm being attacked or blamed, and not letting myself be too worried about what might be, but just caring for you all and caring for our family well is more important to Jesus, I think, than getting rid of all of our sins or being the highest ideal of what we could be. And that's what I think the world is looking for. I think when we're you can't help someone get through the process of accepting Jesus and repenting and turning away from sin and from embracing a new life. That's not a head thing. That's a heart thing. Jesus has to capture someone for them to do that in a genuine way. And they'll do that. We've all done that. And we all continue to do that every day because we trust him, because he's patient with us. And he cares about us way more than we can ever understand.